We just got back from a cruise on the beautiful Celebrity Silhouette, and we want to share with you our honest review of our onboard experience on the ship. We'll share what we loved, some things we didn't like, and one thing that I absolutely hated.
Wait, what did you hate?
You'll see. If you're new here, I'm Maria,
And I'm Corrado, and that's Loki.
and we are a married couple who loves to travel and cruise and share our experiences and tips with you. So, we just got back from a 4 day cruise on the beautiful Celebrity Silhouette. And, fun fact, the Silhouette was our very first experience with Celebrity almost 8 years ago.
Yeah, we started cruising with Princess Cruises, and we did about 9 or 10. We loved it, but you also want to see what else is out there. So the first other cruise we went was a Celebrity, and it was this Silhouette.
Yeah, we were so impressed with the service, the food, everything on Celebrity. So we were excited to return after 8 years. The Silhouette is an older ship. She's part of the Solstice class. And we had heard that she had been revolutionized, which means upgraded. So we were interested to see kind of how she's changed. So let's start off with what we really loved, right? And the first thing, and it's one of the reasons why we got addicted to cruising so much, is the food. Not only the quality, but the quantity and the, I don't want to say the
The
quantity, but the
variety.
variety of selection, right? Starting with the Ocean View Cafe, which is the buffet. We were super impressed with all the different selections, right?
Yeah, Celebrity is consistent. It has really good food. Their buffets is really great. It has a lot of variety to it, and it's not always the same thing every day either. They change things.
Yeah,
So
like, and not only for dinner, right? There's for lunch there's a theme. Like, one day it was like American, one day for the evening it was Taste of France, one day it was Greek. So you're gonna have your stations that are consistent, like your pizza, your pasta, your Mexican, your
um,
Indian, your grill,
the omelet station, yeah.
right? But from breakfast, lunch, and dinner, it was super consistent, and very high quality. If you're interested in seeing a more detailed video, I actually did a walkthrough video of the Ocean View Cafe, and you could hit right here and watch it there. But everything from we're talking about the buffet, but even the main dining room, the food in the main dining room was very delicious. Did you have a favorite?
Well,
Okay, let's go back
so
to Ocean View Cafe because I
yes,
know you definitely had a favorite.
yes, and it's the minute steak was delicious. To have it every day. It's called a minute steak. It's just a steak that they cook fresh, and you can put chimichurri on it, and it's better than steaks I've had at some steak places, and I have it every day. And I think I had one every day too.
Yeah, it's nice
Really
and fresh.
delicious.
Somebody's
Yeah,
like back there, like cooking it up.
simple
And
but good. Yeah.
yes, what was my favorite thing in the buffet? I would have to say my favorite thing is for breakfast. There's a station. Not only is there an omelet made to order omelet station, but there is eggs Benedict station, and not only like the original eggs Benedict, there's like spinach and salmon, and that was always really great to have in the morning.
Yeah,
But
fresh pastries that they made.
yes, yeah. So main dining room, it was very consistent. One of my favorite things was the dips that they bring out before your meal. There's always like whipped butter, but then the other two dips changes. Like, there was a tzatziki and, I don't know, sun-dried tomato, hummus, and those amazing, you know,
You like the
the
breadsticks, I know. Yeah,
breadsticks are so
yeah.
good. So that was something that I always looked forward to. Anything else about the food? The the Cafe Al Bacio.
Yeah.
That is a place on deck 3 where you can go get coffee, but there's always some amazing little pastries there. And if you want something savory, the little sandwiches,
Yeah,
right?
it's a little cafe. It's open late, and it's open all the full day. And coffee, cappuccino, espresso, pastries. And it's always
Yeah.
consistently good. And it's that's always open, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you're hanging out by the pool, like, we that's one of our favorite things. We're eating and we're hanging out by the pool,
Yes.
right? There is a grill out by the
Masked
pool
grill.
called the Mass Grill, and there you get your hot dogs, your hamburgers, your did they have a chicken burger? I don't even remember.
I think so.
Yeah,
Hot dogs, hamburgers, sausage, French fries.
veggie
Yeah.
burger, soft serve.
Yeah.
So you didn't necessarily have to go into the buffet. You just grab your burger, fries. You can go back to your pool chair. That was really tasty too, and that's like made fresh, fresh to order.
Yeah.
Right? Yes. Okay. So food, top notch.
Yes.
If I would say it's one of the best cruise lines for food at sea. What
I
do you think?
agree.
Food at
Yes,
sea?
I agree. Yeah.
Okay. So the second thing that we absolutely loved was the ship design and ship spaces. Now, like I said, it's an older ship. Silhouette is part of the Solstice class. And I mean, you could tell it's older, like with, the dark woods and
I mean,
brown color. But you know what? The main foyer is absolutely gorgeous. Like when you walk in, you have these like panoramic elevators that they still have, which gives you a really nice view of the atrium and
yeah, and it's
all.
open ceiling, so you get fresh, natural light.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't think it's dated. It's more classic, but it's still modern, and it's also very clean. They're cleaning the ship
Oh
all
yeah,
the time.
it was very clean.
It doesn't seem like, oh, I'm on an old
Yeah.
ship at all.
Yeah, you can kind of tell where they've revolutionized it and made it look a bit more edge class. Like you could tell it like in our cabin. You can tell on I think it was on the lawn, the lawn deck.
The lawn
There's
club, yeah,
the lawn club, like the furniture. You could tell that was really, really modern. But overall, our favorite space is the pool deck, right? What did you love about the pool deck? Because that's important to you, right?
It is. To me, it's
Right?
very important because in the daytime, that's where you're doing a Caribbean cruise. Most of the time, that's where we're going to be. And there's two main big pools. One's a little deeper than the other. Lots of lawn chair, pool deck chair, lounge chairs.
Loungers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not only loungers, but there are a lot of covered spaces.
Yes.
So there were like these beds, these pool beds that were under these awnings. And like we went to sit there and he thought, oh, is this extra charge?
thought it
And
was
I'm
the
like, no,
first
no,
one.
no, this is all included. So that was really nice. And speaking like the two pools, there's like a pool that's a little bit more on the shallow end, and then the one right next to it is more of like a deeper pool. But that's kind of like where they did, and the shallow one they did aerobics, they did the like pool Olympics.
Yeah.
And if you have kids, that's a nice pool for the kids to hang out too. And then there's a third pool in the solarium, and that's another space that is absolutely breathtaking, right?
Yes, I
Yeah.
really love the solarium because for a few reasons. Because sometimes if you're on a cruise, maybe you get too much sun, you want to just be outside, you want to be lounging by the pool, but you don't want to necessarily be in the direct sun. It's a great place to go.
Yeah,
And there's lots of seats in there, and they're comfortable. There's actually
they have
there's
like
a more cushiony seats. They're actually more
cushiony
comfortable in
seats
there,
with the pillow, and there's like a couple of like whirlpools. What are they called?
There is
The hot tubs, hot
Yeah,
tubs.
there's hot tubs outside as well. too.
Yes. So if you prefer to be in the solarium, I mean, we were lucky. Our weather was absolutely gorgeous. But if it was a rainy day, if it was a colder day, you could hang out in the solarium,
Yeah.
or if you just want a quiet spot. So I really liked
Yeah.
the solarium. Any
Yes.
other things about the ship spaces? Um,
I like to say there's a library. There's a lot of like it's a classic but modern design. I would say I don't think it's old fashioned. It's classic where you get your pool decks, you get the grand foyer. There's the where they do the entertainment. I love the design of this ship, and
It
it's
was
not
easy.
huge.
It's not huge.
It's
I mean,
it's
I mean,
2,800 people. I
yeah,
think,
2,800 people. We never, other than one spot, we'll talk about that later. We never felt it super crowded,
Yeah.
but I was really impressed. It did not feel like an older ship, that's for sure.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, so the next thing we really loved was the entertainment and the staff. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So let's start off with just even the cruise director, Mike.
Mike, yeah,
He was so much fun.
yeah,
I think it was the first time we had a cruise director where he actually sang,
Yeah.
like he performed. and he really got everybody involved. He was front and center, but the rest of the staff was absolutely amazing. We had, some call outs. I know you have some call outs.
Alejandro was hilarious.
He was so
He
funny.
was one of the entertainers. Like
Yeah.
he did a lot of the trivia, and
Well, he wasn't an entertainer. I think he
yeah,
was in charge of the entertainment.
yeah,
So
he might,
he
yeah,
did the pool classes.
yeah.
He did trivia.
He was
He was part of the
hilarious. Yeah.
dance parties. He was
At
so
the
much
ABBA
fun.
party, yeah.
Yes, a couple of other call outs. We had
Like the trivia guy from, well, there's a couple
David.
trivia guys.
I think it was David from
Yeah.
Jamaica.
Yeah,
Yes, and an amazing DJ.
yeah,
But let's just talk about the entertainment. We were shocked. We were shocked at how much there was to do on this ship. And I'm gonna say it. I thought, you know what, a 4 day, we might not get all. I don't know. I For some reason I thought it was going to be scaled down, and they wouldn't be putting on so much to do for only cruisers that were on for 4 days, but I was mistaken. So from all the trivias, we saw a comedian, we saw a production show. I think it was that one called Disco? No, Disco Inferno, or no, Disco.
I think it was Disco Inferno.
No, it wasn't
no.
Disco Inferno. It, no. Anyway, it
But it
was
was
a
a good,
disco
yeah,
themed. It was so much fun, but the parties that went on every day, and it got put on into that grand foyer. There was like a ABBA sing along party, a silent party. There was finish the lyrics, which is
yeah,
always hilarious, and because it's done in the grand foyer, and there's like three different levels, it really gets the entire ship involved.
yeah.
Right?
It does,
Yeah.
and there's always events going on. There's also live bands. There was a really good band they did one night. They did Fleetwood Mac and the Eagles music, but they did a bunch of stuff. It
Yeah,
wasn't
up
just
in the
that.
Sky
In the
Lounge.
Sky Lounge.
That's usually because I think they did most of their events or parties in either that grand foyer or up in the Sky Lounge,
Yeah,
which is a beautiful space as well. And yeah, it was gorgeous up there. 80s party. Hey,
yeah.
we're always happy when there's an 80s party, and the music was like
It was, yeah. I think it was a good mix because it was 80s, there was 90s, there was
was
some modern, there was
2000s.
some modern music too. So
Yeah.
it wasn't like just one type of music, which I appreciate because music is very subjective. People have different tastes, right?
Yeah,
So,
I personally love the music.
yeah, yeah,
It was so much fun. And even on the last day, we had a pool day. Was RC day was the last day, and they transformed the entire pool deck. The theme was Poolest Day Ever, and the colors were orange and blue. So when we came onto the pool deck that morning, there was different pillows with that theme. They had put almost like an Instagrammable
like a
like
backdrop. Yeah,
backdrop for you to take your photos. And then the activities that they were. I had never seen with Celebrity before, where every 15 minutes they would play a specific song. So
yeah,
on this cruise, it was the song Happy. So every time they played Happy, there were treats that would be handed out. Like we had sorbet, and we had fruit, and we had drinks. And then the entertainment team
yeah.
would
The
come out.
dancers would come out. They would do a quick song, and it was very kind of spontaneous, and
It was
it was
very,
really cool. Yeah, we liked
yes,
it.
right? And that's the day that they did the pool Olympics.
Yeah, it's funny because they came out, they did a song, and then they went away, and then another half an hour or so they came back again. So it was really good. It
It
was
was
fun. Yeah.
so engaging.
Yeah.
That was like our best day. And guess what? I guess they completed their mission of Poolest Day Ever. It was so good. So definitely entertainment, and the staff was absolutely amazing. We felt that there was never a lack of things to do, no matter
Yes.
what time it was, whether it was daytime, whether you were at the pool, whether it was late at night. We did use the app to find all the activities. The app worked really well, but we just found that it was so much fun, like really fun.
Yeah, one of the things I like about celebrities, there's lots of things to do and you can do them, but you don't have to. If you want to relax, you can relax. But I
Yeah.
like the option of having things to do and choosing, I want to do this or I just want to relax.
Yeah, exactly. We thoroughly enjoyed this cruise, and there was just a couple things that we didn't like or felt that could be changed. I mean, we're really being picky, and this is our opinion only. And we're gonna go back to the food because we absolutely love the quality, the selection, the variety. But we're gonna go back to the, I guess, where I felt that there weren't enough quick service options
Mhm.
unless you went to the buffet. So let's talk about what we didn't mention about food is this is all complimentary food or included
Included,
food.
yeah.
We tend to cruise on a budget and we don't do specialty dining. Plus on Celebrity, we didn't feel that we needed to. But if you wanted to grab a quick snack, other than going to the buffet, the mass grill, or going down to the Cafe
Okay,
Al
well,
Bacio, there really wasn't any grab and go like near the pool. Like that, I know I'm being really picky, but I'm saying, in other cruise lines around the pool deck, there are like little quick service spots that you can go without having to go to the buffet. But that's the only thing that I felt was a little bit of a miss.
yeah, like it's not a
It's
deal
not a
breaker.
big
There's
deal.
lots of selection, but it's true there is not as like some cruise lines have other more quick service area. So if that's a thing for you, that's one thing. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Literally, it wasn't a deal breaker.
no, not
It's
by us.
just
No,
that
not at all.
those were the three places if you
Yeah,
wanted something really quick. There is a place in the solarium that's open, not all day, but
yeah,
it's
only
called the
mostly
Spa
mornings. Yeah,
Cafe, where you can get like a healthier breakfast and you could get drinks there too. But that was the only my only
yeah, it wasn't open very long in the day.
yeah.
So
So speaking about the buffet, the other thing we didn't like was the lack of seating. Sometimes it felt like it was overly crowded. I mean, I love the fact that there was seating outside. You can go sit in the aft, but on those pool days or embarkation day, we had to like
there,
circle around a bit to get seating, and in my opinion, I think it's due to two different things, right? What do you think?
yeah, like so there is a lot of seats, but sometimes it was hard to find a seat. And what do you think it is? And
I don't know. Okay, so two things, right? So I think it's just the style of the seating. I think there were a lot of like bigger round tables or tables for four or six. So if only two people were eating, like up, they were taking up like this. I think it basically needs more like two-person seating,
yeah,
right?
and something else I think, and I think maybe there's almost seemed like there's not enough staff. Now, the staff is awesome; they do a great job, but it almost seems like maybe they could have used more because sometimes there was tables that had
Yeah.
like stuff that wasn't clear
And this
yet.
is specifically in the buffet, right?
Yeah,
Where
yeah,
we felt that, oh, wow, there are empty seats, but there was food there and it just needed to be cleared up
yeah,
a little faster. So that contributed to the time to find a seat. And I also in the back on the pool deck in the mass grill, which is fantastic, but there was like literally like four
yeah,
tables.
yeah.
So
That could definitely use some more seating. I
right?
think.
So on a pool day, like I know he went to get food and I was like on guard trying
Yeah,
to find a
yeah,
table because
yeah,
sometimes I don't like to just eat by the pool, right? I want to
yeah,
sit down, I want to enjoy my meal and then go back to my lounge chair. But I saw a lot of people take their food back to the lounge chair, which
yeah,
is a good option as well. But maybe that area, could have been
yeah.
added a few more tables.
Yeah, it's like this is nitpicking,
Yeah,
but
this is
yeah, yeah,
nitpicking.
that's true.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Um,
I agree.
and then the cabin, even though we loved our cabin, it was revolutionized. It was large enough, had a beautiful couch, had a glass shower, enough storage. We loved it,
One
right?
thing I like about the cabin is the way that the walls were curved and the bed was
The
actually,
bed was
yeah, it
curved.
was curved. So which
Yeah,
actually makes a difference because you're walking by
yeah.
some
We
rooms,
we
right?
stayed in
Yeah,
an interior
yeah,
cabin, and we have a video on a tour of that cabin if you want to see it. But because it's an older ship,
mm.
what didn't get upgraded is what?
Yeah. There's not a lot of outlets and there's no USB ports, which I was kind of surprised on. But it's an older ship, so just make sure you bring your charging block. There was no
Oh,
USB ports.
really?
No.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
was a little bit
S-
surprised, but
Yeah, you're right,
just
you know?
so if
Yeah.
you're get used to the new ships all have them, and so if you're tempted to not bring it, just bring it because that will bother if you need to charge. But like I said, it's not a huge issue for us at
Yeah,
least. Yeah.
yeah. I'm so used to wanting to charge my phone next to like my bedside table, and then because I use my phone as the alarm, and I just felt that, because I'm used to it in a newer ship, it's not a deal breaker.
Yeah.
But like you said,
Bring
bring
your charging block.
charging block.
Yeah.
Okay, so those were some of the things that we disliked. Honestly, they're not deal breakers.
No, not at
We
all.
were just really being picky. And as I said, there was one thing that I absolutely hated, and it's no fault of celebrity, but it is my fault. I hated the fact that I didn't trust myself to do a back to back and do a 3 day right after the 4 day. I honestly thought that it was going to be a good cruise. I didn't know it was going to be this good and this much fun with so much to do, right? Because we did do a side by side. We left Celebrity Silhouette to jump on Valiant Lady and do Virgin for 5 days. And when we got there, we were actually missing this cruise. So I hated myself for not actually making the Silhouette a 7 day, even though we had an amazing time on Valiant Lady. And if you are actually interested in us doing a comparison video
Oh,
in the
we're gonna do
future,
it.
we're going to do it. Okay, if you want to see that video, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, as that not only are we doing a review of Virgin, but we're going to do a comparison review.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, I should have just trusted my gut and done a 4 day plus a 3 day and then 7 days because it was absolutely so much fun. Who do we think this cruise is for? Man, the demographic was all over the place. From, even though there were some kids, there were a lot of like older teenagers, girls' weekend, friends. If you're going down with friends, if you've never cruised before and you don't want to commit to 7 days, try a 4 day
Yeah, I think it's a
cruise.
great introduction to
Yeah.
cruising if you haven't cruised before, if you've cruised before and would
Yeah.
love it. Yeah.
I think there's a misconception, oh, 3 day, 4 day, maybe with some other cruise lines that it's a booze cruise. It did not feel that way.
No.
Did it have a party vibe or high energy vibe? Definitely. But if you wanted to relax, there were spaces for you to go relax. So I definitely would recommend this for anybody that wants to try Celebrity or just get away. I mean, I booked this because it was very economical. Like, we're flying all the way from Canada, and the if we wanted to stay and book a hotel in Fort Lauderdale or South Beach, per night, it would have been more expensive to
Yeah,
just
for
stay in a
sure.
hotel that than doing this 4 day cruise where
Yeah.
you get lodging,
Food,
entertainment,
entertainment.
food. There was one stop that we stopped in Cozumel, and it was like a no brainer for us. So if you just want a quick getaway, that's who we recommend it for, and you're gonna have so much fun. And if you choose to relax, you relax, right? So, would you do this again?
100%.
A hundred
Yeah.
percent. Yes.
100%.
Yes. Would you do like a 4 day cruise again?
I mean, I would, but yeah, I would like longer, but yeah,
Yeah.
I have no complaints about this
Yes.
cruise at all.
We're
So
actually,
yeah.
you know what? We actually in the near future have a 3 day we're doing on the Celebrity Reflection. So, and that's another solstice class ship. So now this got us really excited to go onto that ship. We've never been on that ship. So look out for a video in the future on a review of the Reflection. But other than that, an amazing 4 day cruise. We loved it. We can't wait to go back. And thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give us a like. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to our channel. We have lots of videos coming up soon. We love to share our tips with you. And thanks again. And see you in the next video. And happy cruising.
Happy cruising.